Liam, Manchester United won't have Martial or Jesse Lingard, and they are going to bring in, apparently, Sanchez and Lukaku. In the press conference yesterday, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said of Sanchez, a player you know really well because he was at Arsenal for so long, he said he's like a bottle of tomato ketchup at the moment. You're banging it, and nothing will come out. And then all of a sudden, it all spills out in front of you. And he said that's what Sanchez is like. The talent's in there somewhere and it'll all come out. And maybe tonight's the night he needs to do it. What's your take on Sanchez since he's been at Old Trafford?
Well, he's been very, very disappointing.
He sure has.
Not nearly the same player he was at Arsenal. He was like a leader of the team at Arsenal.
Yes.
He was the one that, was an example for the other players how to work, get the ball back. And when he did get the ball, he could do fantastic things with it. He's always been a little bit erratic. His passing has never been perfect, and he sometimes gives the ball away willy-nilly, but he'll make up for it then, Eamon, by getting it back and doing something really good, making a goal, scoring a goal. That was his form at Arsenal, but at Manchester United, he's never really got going. I think he fell out, or he had a falling out with Mourinho. Mourinho dropped him. He was critical of him. You remember I told you a few months ago, I'm not too sure Manchester as a place
yes,
would be,
he did.
With what he would fancy. He's been used to Barcelona. He played in Barcelona.
Yes.
He's been in London. He has an entourage with him that he looks after.
Yeah.
And I'm not too sure Manchester would be the place that not only him but all the entourage would be happy in. So
even on 600 grand a week? Even on 600 grand a week?
Yeah, even on 600 grand a week, Eamon. I think they'd rather be somewhere else. And that's what it seems to me. But a bit like Ozil at Arsenal is, if you're earning that much money, who's going to take Sanchez off their hands?
Yeah.
I think Solskjaer, from what the teams he's picked so far, has kind of made his intention that if he was to get the manager's job, Lukaku and probably Sanchez would be on their way out if he could get rid of them,
Yep.
And generate some money to buy players that they obviously need. But a big game for him tonight, and he can turn it on, but he's been so absent in nearly a year, Eamon, that
yep.
you wouldn't put your faith in him turning up and playing well tonight,
Yeah. John, he's an interesting player. Is it a case with him that basically he's a fighter? He's a street fighter. I thought playing for Chile, playing for Arsenal, he's a leader, as Liam said, and he gives it everything. But if he doesn't have that motivation, if he doesn't have that hunger, then he's just another player. And if you give him 600 grand a week and he's living somewhere that he doesn't fancy, you can forget him.
Well, yeah, it's hard to make out, Eamon. I mean, I can understand Liam and people like London and they like the big cities, but I'm amazed at the contrast in him at Manchester United compared to Arsenal. Eamon.
Yeah,
I thought when Manchester United bought him, it would be really, really a top signing for them. I thought Manchester City lost out, and I don't know. Well, nobody knows what's happened there. I mean, it could be, as Liam says, they don't like the place, but there's lots of good places in Manchester as well, and he's with a top team, a top club. He's earning top money. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows why there's that contrast in the player that was so good for years at Arsenal. Hasn't kicked the ball for Manchester United.
No.
He's I know he fell out with Mourinho, as lots of players did, but actually a lot of the players that fell out with Mourinho have actually played well since he left. But there's been no change in Sanchez at all. It's a mystery, a total mystery to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, as to the form he's been in since he joined Manchester United.
When you were playing, John, you had an entourage, did you? I was in it.
You were there, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't treat us very well. I hope Sanchez looks after his entourage better
I
than
looked
you.
after you well. I looked after you well in Manchester, didn't I?
You
When
did.
You were there.
You were very
It
good.
was when you left me. It was when you left me and went to all of these smaller clubs. I think they ruined you.
They sure did.